Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we start, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. Now, let's get into it, because what's happening right now in the 1000 LB Sisters world has fans absolutely losing it. The show that's been a roller coaster of tears, laughter, and transformation might be coming to an end, and people are panicking when one cryptic social media post dropped. It sent the entire fandom spiraling. Could this really be the last season? After everything the Slaton family has been through, are we actually witnessing the final chapter? Or is this just another TLC twist meant to keep everyone guessing? Either way, the rumors have exploded, and it all traces back to one simple message from a Slaton sister. To understand why this hit so hard, you have to remember where it all began. Back in 2020, TLC introduced 1000 LB Sisters to the world. A show that seemed at first like it would focus only on two sisters battling extreme obesity, Tammy and Amy Slaton from small-town Kentucky, struggling with food addiction, health issues, and the weight, both literal and emotional, of their shared lives. Tammy was the older sister, heavier, more stubborn, and often her own worst enemy. Amy, the younger one, had dreams of starting a family but was constantly torn between her goals and her sister's dependency. Together, they weighed over 1,000 pounds, but what really made people tune in wasn't the number, it was their humanity. Fans were drawn to the rawness of it all. Tammy's fiery temper, Amy's goofy humor, their brother Chris's no-nonsense honesty, and sister Amanda's blunt, tough love approach. It felt real, messy, and emotional. Unlike other reality shows that felt scripted, 1000 LB Sisters had something deeper. Viewers didn't just watch their lives, they became part of them. In the early seasons, we saw Tammy struggle in ways that broke people's hearts. Her health was spiraling out of control, her mobility was limited, her breathing labored, and her attitude often combative. She lashed out at the people trying to help her, pushing away family, friends, and even doctors. But behind all that anger was fear. Fear of change, fear of failure, and fear of dying before she ever really got to live. Amy, on the other hand, was desperate to break free. She wanted a baby. She wanted a normal life, and she wanted to see her sister survive long enough to be part of it. Her love for Tammy was obvious, but it came with exhaustion and guilt. Fans could feel that push and pull, love mixed with frustration, the kind of relationship only sisters can truly understand. As the show grew, the Slatons' family dynamic expanded too. Their brother Chris became an instant fan favorite. He was hilarious, brutally honest, and always ready to push Tammy toward doing better. Amanda joined later, adding even more personality and truth bombs to the mix. Together, they created a family that viewers couldn't look away from. They argued, laughed, and cried, but no matter what, they showed up for each other. Over time, the show became less about shock value and more about redemption, and that redemption started with Tammy. For seasons, Tammy seemed stuck in a cycle of self-destruction. Every time she took one step forward, she'd take two steps back. Fans watched in frustration as she missed appointments, refused doctors' advice, and sabotaged herself again and again. But then something shifted. After nearly losing her life, literally being put on life support, Tammy had her wake-up call. It wasn't just another rock-bottom moment. This time, she realized there might not be another chance. When she entered rehab, many fans thought it would be just another failed attempt. But it wasn't. Slowly, something inside her changed. This wasn't just about weight anymore. It was about survival and purpose. Month by month, Tammy began to do what so many thought impossible. She followed her plan. She attended therapy. She began confronting not just her physical health, but her emotional pain, the trauma, the loneliness, the patterns that had trapped her for years. And for the first time, fans saw a version of Tammy that was open, vulnerable, and determined. When she finally qualified for bariatric surgery, it felt like a collective victory. People who had once criticized her were now cheering for her. And after the surgery, when Tammy emerged visibly smaller, brighter, and most importantly, happier, it felt like watching a completely different person by the time season 5 rolled around. Tammy Slaton had done what almost no one believed she could. She wasn't just alive, she was thriving. She could walk without oxygen, stand on her own, smile without pain. She began posting fun TikToks, connecting with fans, and sharing her gratitude for a life she almost lost. Her transformation wasn't just physical, it was spiritual, emotional, a complete rebirth. But ironically, that's where the fear began. Because when someone's story reaches its happy ending, people start to wonder what comes next. And that's when one small comment from one of her sisters changed everything. A fan had asked online about filming, curious if there'd be another season. The response came casually, almost like a throwaway remark. "Y'all better watch, this might be the last season." That single sentence hit like a bomb. The fan base erupted. Was this confirmation? Was the show actually ending? Could TLC really be wrapping up one of its biggest hits just as Tammy's story turned hopeful? Within hours, the internet was on fire. Reddit threads, Facebook groups, and TikTok clips were filled with theories. Some thought it was a misunderstanding that the sister was joking. Others believed it was a subtle hint that TLC was closing the book on 1000 Delby sisters. After all, how do you top a story like Tammy's? The woman who once couldn't walk now dances. The woman who once hated herself now preaches self-love. Maybe, some thought, her story had come full circle. But for many fans, the idea of saying goodbye was unbearable. People have followed this family for nearly half a decade. They've seen Amy fall in love, get married, have kids, and then face heartbreak after her split from Michael. They've seen Chris fight for his own health and become a role model for men watching at home. They've seen Amanda's strength, her protective nature, and her no-filter attitude that fans absolutely adore. And of course, they've seen Tammy, the woman who went from villain to hero, prove that change is possible. So, when whispers of the show ending started spreading, it felt like losing family. Fans weren't just losing a show, they were losing people they had grown attached to. But why would TLC end it now? Some believe it's because Tammy's arc is complete. Reality shows thrive on drama and struggle, and Tammy's story used to provide both in spades. Now that she's healthy, positive, and living peacefully, maybe producers feel the story's tension has faded. Others think it's about the family's fatigue. Filming reality TV is brutal, especially when your worst moments are broadcast to millions. For years, the Slatons have faced trolls, criticism, and endless gossip online. Maybe they're just done with it all. Then there's the business side. TLC has been experimenting with spin-offs lately. Maybe they plan to rebrand, perhaps a new show centered around Amy as a single mom. Or one that follows Tammy's life after weight loss. Fans have even imagined Amanda and Chris getting their own series, a fun, comedic take on health and family life. Don't matter the theory. One thing is clear. The 1000 LB sisters. Fandom isn't ready for goodbye. People are emotionally invested. They've rooted for these siblings like they're part of their own families. Watching them evolve has been cathartic, inspiring, even for many fans struggling with their own battles, whether with weight, addiction, or mental health. Seeing Tammy's survival has been a lifeline. That's why the panic feels so real. It's not just about losing a TV show, it's about losing hope. But here's the thing. This family has always been full of surprises. TLC knows the power of mystery. They've used it for years, leaving viewers hanging with cliffhangers, cryptic posts, and shocking previews. It's part of what keeps fans coming back. And maybe, just maybe, this last season talk is exactly that, a setup for something new. Because Tammy's story doesn't end here. Amy's certainly doesn't. And neither does the family's. There's still more to tell, more laughter, more healing, more growth, and fans. They'll be right there, waiting. The rumors didn't fade, they exploded. Within hours of that cryptic post, fan pages turned into war zones of speculation. Did y'all see what Amanda said? One fan posted on Reddit, "It's really over, isn't it?" Another wrote, "TLC wouldn't end their most successful show like this. There has to be a twist." Everywhere you looked, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, someone was talking about it. Clips from old episodes started trending again, with fans reminiscing about the sisters' funniest moments. But underneath the nostalgia was panic. The show had become more than just background noise. For many, it was comfort. They had grown up with these women. They saw themselves in them, their flaws, their humor, their heartbreaks. 1000 Delby Sisters was messy and imperfect, but that's what made it real. And now, the idea that it might all be ending. It felt like losing family. Tammy, as usual, stayed quiet about the rumors. She continued posting her usual lighthearted TikToks lip-syncing to songs, making funny faces, sharing moments from her daily life. But fans noticed something different. She looked peaceful, happier. It made some people even more certain that the story had reached its end. Meanwhile, Amy was going through her own transformation, one that wasn't just physical, but emotional. After her split from Michael, she was learning how to navigate single motherhood while rediscovering herself. Her house was filled with the chaos of two little boys, Gage and Glenn, but there was also laughter, color, and warmth. Fans adored seeing her softer moments online, decorating her kids' rooms, cooking family meals, and dancing around in silly TikTok challenges. But behind the smiles, they could sense exhaustion. Single parenting, public scrutiny, and years of being on camera had taken a toll. Could Amy be ready to step back from filming too? Then there was Chris, the rock of the family, the comic relief, the big brother, who always spoke his mind. He'd become a quiet hero to many men watching the show, proving that weight loss isn't just a women's issue. His sarcasm, determination, and loyalty made him a fan favorite. Amanda, with her fiery personality, was the glue and the spark, never afraid to speak the truth, no matter how harsh. Viewers loved her brutal honesty and her protective nature toward Tammy and Amy. Together, the siblings formed something rare in reality TV, a family that felt genuinely close despite the chaos. That's why the idea of it ending hit so hard. Fans weren't just mourning a show, they were mourning connection. Every week, I watch them like I'm sitting in my own living room with my sisters, one fan wrote. They remind me that family can fight, scream, forgive, and still love each other in the end. The Slatons had become symbols of resilience, proof that no matter how broken things get, you can rebuild. So when the last season comment dropped, it sparked a deeper fear, not just about TV, but about change. If Tammy's story could end, what did that mean for the people watching her? The fear wasn't just about saying goodbye, it was about losing hope. The kind of hope that comes from watching someone fall 1,000 times and still rise again. But what made the situation worse was TLC's silence. The network said nothing, no confirmation, no denial, just silence, and that silence spoke volumes. Fans dissected every move the cast made, every cryptic emoji or deleted post. The more TLC stayed quiet, the louder the speculation grew. Some believed it was part of a master plan, that the network was building anticipation for a massive finale or spin-off reveal. Others were convinced it meant the show was truly over. Classic TLC. One commenter wrote, "They're gonna drop the trailer for a new season right after everyone freaks out." And maybe that's true. TLC knows how to play the game. They've done it before, teasing endings that never actually end, creating cliffhangers that keep fans on edge for months. But still, the uncertainty was painful. Fans started writing open letters online. "Please don't cancel 1000 Dalby Sisters," one wrote on Facebook. "This show changed lives." Another said, "Tammy showed us it's never too late to turn your life around. Don't take that story away from us." It wasn't just about entertainment anymore. It was about legacy. Tammy's transformation had become one of the most powerful redemption arcs in reality TV history, from the woman who once couldn't breathe on her own to the woman who now hosted her own dinner party. It was a story of survival, and that dinner party had become symbolic. Fans saw it as the ultimate proof that Tammy had reclaimed her life. For years, she was the center of chaos, every episode filled with tears, oxygen tubes, and arguments. But now, there she was, cooking healthy meals, laughing, and welcoming her family into her home. She didn't just sit at the table, she owned it. But that symbolism also made fans nervous. Reality TV often ends when stories reach their peak. What if Tammy's dinner party wasn't just a milestone, but a farewell? Even the tone of recent episodes felt different, quieter, more reflective, less drama, more peace. Amy learning to co-parent, Tammy celebrating her independence, Chris focusing on his health, Amanda smiling more than scolding. It all felt like a conclusion slowly taking shape. Still, not everyone was convinced. Some fans insisted TLC would never end a cash cow like 1000 Dalby Sisters. They'll rebrand it, people speculated. Maybe we'll get Life After 1000 Pounds or the Slaton Family Chronicles. Others floated ideas for Amy's New Chapter, a series focused on her as a single mom, Tammy's Transformation, a lifestyle show about maintaining weight loss and self-love. Chris and Amanda Unfiltered, a comedic series where the siblings tackle life, family, and health with their trademark humor. Fans weren't ready to let go. They were ready to evolve with the family. But there's another side to this story that can't be ignored. The toll of fame. The Slatons have lived under a microscope for years. Every weight fluctuation, every argument, every rumor has been dissected by strangers online. Tammy has faced cruelty beyond comprehension, insults, death threats, and endless ridicule about her appearance. Amy, too, has been judged for her parenting, her marriage, her body. Being open about their lives came with a cost, so maybe, just maybe, the end wouldn't be a tragedy. Maybe it would be a choice, a decision to live quietly, off camera. After years of living for an audience. After all, what's more powerful than saying, "I've shared my story, now I want to live it privately"? Still, fans can't help but hope, because if we've learned anything from the Slatons, it's that they always find a way to surprise us. Maybe this isn't the end. Maybe it's the beginning of something new, something brighter. Tammy's not done growing. Amy's not done healing. And their family. They're not done telling their story. Whatever happens next, fans will be watching, not out of habit, but out of love. Because 1000 LB Sisters isn't just a reality show anymore. It's a story about what it means to fight for your life, your family, and your second chance. And if this is the last season, then it deserves to end, not with sadness, but with gratitude. Gratitude for the laughs, the tears, the chaos, and the courage. But deep down, everyone knows this story doesn't feel over yet. Days turned into weeks, and the conversation didn't slow down. Everywhere you looked, fans were still asking the same question. Is this really the end of 1000 LB Sisters? TLC's silence became deafening. Even the tabloids started to run conflicting headlines, some saying the show was cancelled, others insisting that filming for a new phase was quietly happening in Kentucky. But neither Tammy nor Amy confirmed anything. It was as if the entire Slaton family had stepped back, taken a collective breath, and disappeared behind the curtain. Then, one quiet Sunday evening, Tammy went live on TikTok. No makeup, no filters, just Tammy sitting in her living room, smiling softly at the camera. "Hey y'all," she said. "I know there's been a lot of talk going around. I just want to say, thank you." Her voice trembled slightly. But it wasn't sadness, it was peace. "Y'all have been watching us for years," she continued. "You've seen me at my worst, and you've seen me grow. I'm proud of how far we've come. Me, Amy, Chris, Amanda, all of us." She paused, glancing off camera for a moment before nodding. "No matter what happens next, I just want you to know, this ain't goodbye. It's just a new chapter." The live ended in under 3 minutes. No drama, no tears, just Tammy being real, and fans felt it. It was the closure everyone needed, even if they didn't realize it. Because that's the thing about the 1000 LB Sisters story, it was never about fame, ratings, or viral moments. It was about survival, forgiveness, and love. And if anyone had earned the right to peace, it was Tammy. Over the next few weeks, she continued to share glimpses of her new life, walks with her husband Caleb's family, cooking healthy meals, playing with her nephews, and laughing like she hadn't in years. The woman who once lived in constant pain was now glowing with freedom. Amy, too, seemed lighter, not in body, but in spirit. Her home videos with Gage and Glenn showed a mom who had found her rhythm again. The house was full of toys, crayons, and the sound of laughter. One clip showed Amy sitting on the floor, reading a bedtime story. Gage interrupted halfway through with a giggle and said, "Mama, you're funny." Amy laughed and said, "You got that from me, baby." For fans, it was everything. They didn't need another season to see the ending, because the ending was already written in those quiet, ordinary moments. The journey that started with pain and struggle had led to peace. But just when people thought the story had settled, something unexpected happened. TLC uploaded a cryptic teaser on their official YouTube channel. No faces, no narration, just a slow montage of Kentucky fields, a familiar porch, and the words, "Every story has an after." That was it. No date, no title, just that sentence. Fans went wild. Comments flooded in within minutes. Are they coming back? Please tell me this means life after 1000 pounds. TLC, stop playing with our emotions. It was the spark everyone needed. Suddenly, hope returned. Theories filled Reddit threads again. Some fans said TLC was rebranding the show, shifting focus from weight loss to life after transformation. Others speculated that the network was filming secretly, waiting to drop the announcement once Tammy's full recovery was documented. And then came the biggest clue. A fan in Dixon, Kentucky spotted camera crews outside Tammy's house. Not big production trucks, just a small team. "They're filming something," the fan wrote online. Tammy was out front talking to Amy and Amanda. It looked like a reunion scene. That post alone reignited the entire fandom. Suddenly, people weren't mourning the show anymore, they were celebrating its evolution. And in a way, it felt poetic. Because that's what 1000 LB Sisters has always been about. Change, growth, rebirth. The same people who once struggled to climb stairs were now walking confidently into a new life. The same sisters who once screamed at each other through tears were now sitting together, smiling, stronger than ever. Their story had come full circle, not with perfection, but with peace. A few weeks later, Tammy posted a photo that said it all. It was a picture of her and Amy sitting on the porch, sipping coffee. No filters, no fancy captions, just a single line. "We're good." That one phrase broke the internet. Fans flooded the comments. "You two look so happy. This is the real happily ever after. Forget the show. This is all we needed to see." And maybe that was the truth all along. The Slatons didn't owe the world another episode. They had already given something far more powerful, proof that healing is real. Proof that no matter how dark life gets, you can start over. Now, months after the finale rumors, the sisters are living quieter lives, but they're not forgotten. Clips from old episodes still trend every week. Fans still quote their funniest lines, still cheer for their victories, still share their own weight loss stories inspired by the show. For many viewers, Tammy and Amy weren't just reality stars, they were mirrors. Mirrors reflecting the struggle of self-love, the pain of change, and the beauty of never giving up. And even though the cameras might not be rolling anymore, the legacy lives on. Because every time someone decides to fight for themselves, to get healthy, to repair family ties, to forgive, to grow, that's their version of the Slaton story. And that's what this show was always about. Not numbers, not fame, not weight, but life. Real, messy, beautiful life. As Tammy once said in a confessional, years ago, "I might fall 100 times. But I'll always stand back up, 'cause that's what Slatons do." Those words mean more now than ever. No matter what happens next, another season, a spin-off, or simply a quiet Kentucky sunset, the story of 1000 lb. Sisters will always live in the hearts of those who watched, cried, and grew alongside them. Because the greatest transformation wasn't just Tammy's or Amy's, it was all of ours.